Hey everybody, this is Justin from the RC and Coffee YouTube channel and Facebook page. As always, please consider supporting us by subscribing to the YouTube channel, hitting the notification button, and joining us on Facebook. Without further ado, today we'll cover a vehicle that is not seen very often. It is called the Mack Torque 8x8 and is sold by a company called Nitro RCX. It is the 8x8 iteration of two other iterations, a 6x6 and 4x4. Once you remove the two-part Lexan body, the Lexan, by the way, is of decent quality. You can see that the two center axles there are basically what constitutes the 4x4 version. You add a third axle, you got your 6x6, and your fourth axle is your 8x8. All of these versions can be bought ready to run. This guy retails for $399, which in my opinion is a fantastic value. Now, what's particular about this rig is that you've got four axles that are driven by one individual motor. There are 540 cans. I do not know the terms. It has not been specified, but it drives in a very special fashion in a sense that unlike a shaft-driven vehicle, in which if you were to lock one wheel, the entire system, it's a closed loop, the entire system stops. If you were to lock one wheel there, the rest of the axle works. The best way to describe that, it's basically a 4x4 system with an open differential. So that basically allows every axle to work to work independently. However, every single axle is locked. So it's a very interesting configuration. Once you get the vehicle, it comes ready to run with two servos at the front, so it's a four-wheel steering setup, but you have the ability to turn that into an eight-wheel steering vehicle, and that's really where it shines. It's very easy to do so. You need a Y cable, you need two brackets to install two servos. So basically, you need four elements, and you turn this thing into an eight-wheel steering beast. I would highly recommend that you pick a transmitter that has preset crawl modes, simply because you want to be able to disengage the eight-wheel steering rather, if you wanted to. The reason being, it comes with a rather disappointing NIM battery. The runtime is only 7 minutes, and once you add two additional servos there, it really drives on that battery, and it'll be very difficult to drive more than 5 minutes with this rig if you have a pretty heavy thumb, or index rather. Now, I'll demonstrate. So they recommend, I believe, the FlySky GT3B C and the GT5, which is the one that I do recommend. It's a fantastic little radio. I'll run through the different crawl modes. So crawl mode A basically only actuates the front wheels. There you go. Then you switch to B, and it's the rear. You switch to C, and it basically crab walks. Oh, actually, no, quite the opposite. That's where you get the maximum steering angle. And somehow it's inverted on my transmitter. And then your crab walk is the D mode. Now, it's an impressive rig. It's 982 millimeters long, but it's only 6.34 kilograms, so it's relatively light relative to its size. Some of the drawbacks are the spindles and the spindle carriers. They're made out of plastic. They're about 3 millimeters thick, or thin, I should say. They are bound to break. The problem with Nitro RCX is that, or that truck rather, is that it's only carried by Nitro RCX, and that's where you're going to go to get the parts. Thankfully, there's two other iterations. I've rarely seen them being out of stock. Sometimes they are, but that's the case for every, even major companies. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But there's nothing you can do with regards to upgrading that. Same with the tires. You can't change them, but you can change the wheels. The hex are 12 millimeters, so that's one of your run-of-the-mill size. Another drawback is the fact that it has plastic servo horn. That's something that can easily be changed. I wouldn't change the servos. They're only 9 kilograms, but then again, it's a light rig. You've got 4 servos. There's really no point in going overkill. Same with the motors. I was actually cautioning you about going with with Torque motors, simply because I don't believe these gears are particularly strong. You only have one official vendor to my knowledge, and really it doesn't need it. It's a fantastic performer. It crawls like nobody's business. It comes with two ESCs. Those I will change for 1080 ESCs to be able to have proper drag brake. And obviously I changed my receiver to be able to accommodate the FlySky GT5 that I'm using there. It's got a lot of adjustability with regards to the chassis. You've got a bunch of mounting points for your shocks. They're 120 millimeter shocks, by the way. And you can also adjust the shocks along the lengths. You can raise them or lower them in order to increase or lower the stance of the vehicle. Overall, it's a fantastic vehicle. Great. I'd call it a great bargain, especially if you live in the U.S. $399 shipped. I'd call that a bargain. Shipping fees abroad are fairly steep, but I would definitely recommend this buy. It's a head turner. There's very few of them, and it's so far has been a very reliable rig to me. Fantastic performer. Definitely one to add on your list if you're interested by this type of vehicle. Thank you very much.